Hi everyone, my name is Kylie James. I am a certified nutritionist here at Career Nutrition, and I am here today to talk about a really important topic, mental health, in particular anxiety. Currently, we're in a lockdown and we're just rounding up to the year mark of living in a world pandemic. And unfortunately, with lockdowns and restrictions and people losing their jobs, depression and anxiety have become a huge problem. And so that's why today I wanted to talk to you guys about strategies to help managing anxiety during this time. So let's get started. Let's have a look at the stats in Canada for a start. So mental health is a real problem in Canada, even prior to COVID. So the research shows that 1 in 5 Canadians experience a mental health or an addiction problem. And by the time Canadians reach the age of 40 years of age, 1 in 2 have or have had a mental illness. So that's huge. Young people in particular are really susceptible to mental health problems. So the ages between 15 to 24, they're more likely to experience a mental health illness or substance use disorder more than any other group. And the stats for Ontario high school students, and this I thought was quite high, 34% of Ontario high school students indicate moderate to serious levels of psychological distress, so symptoms of anxiety and depression. Now, these are stats pre-COVID, pre-pandemic. So you can see that we were already in a mental health crisis prior to COVID-19. And now with the pandemic, this is both magnified and added to that crisis. So CAMH released in July 2020 about the COVID-19 and the negative impact it is having on us Canadians. So what they're seeing is stress levels have doubled since the pandemic, and over 50% of Canadians are noticing worsening of their mental health problems, with 44% being worried and 41% experiencing anxiety, which is understandable. People are losing their jobs, there's fear about the future, trying to balance home life with homeschooling, managing mental health, as well as adhering to restrictions. So it's pretty overwhelming. So what can we do about this? So first of all, I want us to address like what are the symptoms of anxiety, because we want to be able to recognize it so that we can address it. And anxiety is not just those emotional issues that we have with anxiety and nervousness, but there's a lot of physical issues as well that can arise, like physical symptoms. So headache can be a symptom of anxiety, diarrhea or frequent need to urinate, as well as nausea. So there's a huge relationship between our gut and our brain and our emotions. So usually when our mental health is compromised, our gut is often compromised as well. Rapid heartbeat, chest pain, shortness of breath, lightheadedness and dizziness, tremors or twitches, excess sweating because of our sympathetic nervous system has gone into like overdrive and we're in that fight flight response. Restlessness, insomnia, fatigue, weakness, unexplained pain, which a lot of people would not necessarily correlate to anxiety symptoms, digestive issues, decreased libido, and impaired immune system, which is something we don't want during a pandemic. So what can we do to help manage or minimize these issues arising from anxiety? So a big one is implementing the Mediterranean diet. So I just did an article which is coming out next month and on the Mediterranean diet, and it was compared against 39 different diets, and it was rated #1 for best overall diet, the most easy to implement, the most sustainable over time, and as well for all its health benefits. So a big thing about the Mediterranean diet is it helps to reduce inflammation, and inflammation is a key, is a contributing factor to psychological problems such as anxiety and depression. So by reducing inflammation by the foods that we consume in our diet can really help with our mental health. The Mediterranean diet's also been shown to be an excellent in supporting heart health, weight loss, longevity, and brain health as well. So, what is the Mediterranean diet? It's basically consisting of fresh fruits and vegetables, lots of healthy raw nuts and seeds, and lots of those good fats. So, fish, olives, olive oil, avocado. So, really focusing on whole foods and lean cuts of meat, obviously limiting red meat, eating that in moderation, and avoiding all those processed foods and refined grains. So the white rice, white pasta, sugar, pizza, burgers, and all that sort of stuff. So part of the reason why the Mediterranean diet is so successful at helping with all these health issues is that it's loaded in fruits and vegetables. And research shows that if we consume tons of fruits and vegetables, it's actually associated with a lower risk of depression and anxiety and other psychological distress. Another great thing, so it's anti-inflammatory, it's high in those fruits and vegetables, but it's also high in fat. And fat is another reason why this diet can be really good to support our mood. So one study found that when medical students increase their omega-3 fatty acids, so things like the fish, the olives, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado, their anxiety reduced by 20%. And Spanish researchers found that those who followed the Mediterranean lifestyle and diet closely, so they're very diligent at adhering to the diet, were 50% less likely to develop depression and anxiety than those who didn't follow the diet as well. The great thing about the Mediterranean diet is it's delicious. It is high in fat, so you're going to get satiated and feel full and satisfied. A lot of you eating with a lot of great colors and flavors, and it's easy to implement in your diet and in your daily lifestyle as well. So definitely, out of those 39 diets, the Mediterranean diet was rated number one, and it's definitely a good approach to take. Another big thing to help manage anxiety is balancing blood sugars. And again, this is another big issue, especially in North America and the Western world, because we tend to lead ourselves to a diet that really unbalances our blood sugars. So skipping meals, consuming those processed foods, those sugars, those refined grains, ordering takeout, consuming caffeine and energy drinks just to help us get through the day, or because we're so busy with homeschooling kids and trying to work at the same time, maybe going long periods of time without eating. This is all going to contribute to unbalanced blood sugars. And as a result, with blood sugars going up and down, you're going to have a variety of symptoms. And when you look at the symptom list, you can see a lot of the symptoms are consistent with symptoms of anxiety as well. So insomnia, mood swings, fatigue, irritability, weakness, anxiety, depression, aggression, blurred vision, headaches, difficulty concentrating, dizziness, and frequent urination. So you can see that there's a lot of similarities between unbalanced blood sugars and anxiety. So if you can help balance blood sugars, and one way to do that is by following the Mediterranean diet, this can really help manage your anxiety symptoms. So the other issue when blood sugars drop is your body naturally produces that stress hormone cortisol. So when we're stressed or anxious, our body naturally produces the stress hormones adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline's short-lived in our body, and it's there for that short stress burst, but it doesn't really cause us any problems. But if we are in a state of stress for a period of time, chronic stress, then that excess cortisol is going to build, and that can cause problems in our body. So if we are stressed out, we have excess cortisol. If we have unbalanced blood sugars and our blood sugars drop, our body naturally produces cortisol to raise our blood sugars up. So the combination can cause a whole bunch of hormonal imbalances with a high amount of cortisol. And the problem with cortisol is it can cause increased cravings and appetite. So it can contribute to those unbalanced blood sugar levels. It also interferes with the production of neurotransmitters that helps us to feel calm, relax, concentrate. And also excess cortisol is responsible for that extra tire around our midsection. So you can see on the left here, excess cortisol, high blood pressure, nerve problems, anxiety, depression, headaches, digestive issues, heart disease. And there's that weakened immune system again, which again is something we do not want when we're living through a pandemic. So again, balancing blood sugars is really important to managing that cortisol, which will help with our anxiety and also help support a healthy immune system. So what do we need to do to balance blood sugars? Well, you really want to make sure when you get up in the morning that you're eating something within an hour of waking. So to avoid those blood sugar drops when your body starts producing that cortisol, right? So make sure you're getting something into you. You want to make sure that that food is a combination of healthy fat, lean protein, and low glycemic carbs. So instead of sugary cereals in the morning or white toast or grabbing a donut from the coffee shop, try and focus on maybe protein shakes or omelets with vegetables, something like that. Or for dinner, like a half a plate of vegetables, a lean protein like a fish, and then drizzle olive oil on top of your salad so you're getting those good fats. You want to consume 3 meals a day, and if you need to, 1 or 2 snacks. And again, no surprise, avoid sugar and refined grains, the white bread, the white pasta, the white rice, because that's all going to spike your blood sugars. You want to avoid stimulants such as energy drinks, caffeine, and pop. And you don't want to go long periods of time without eating because your blood sugars are going to start to go down. So that is really important to do. Like I said, follow the Mediterranean diet. You're really getting that balanced, healthy fats, proteins, and carbs in your meals. Really want to do a big shout out to calcium and magnesium. So these are amazing minerals. They're anti-stress, anti-anxiety minerals. They help to relax the mind, calm the nerves, and relax the muscles. So if you're someone that have anxiety that's struggling with pain as well, these would be great minerals for you to incorporate into your diet or into your supplement program. The problem is when we're under a lot of stress, we have key vitamins and minerals that help support us during those times of stress, but they get used up as a result of supporting us. They get used up a lot quicker in the body. So that's your B vitamins, your vitamin C, and your calcium and magnesium. So, for example, if you have a magnesium deficiency, you can experience problems such as nausea, muscle pain, gastrointestinal problems, cravings for chocolate, insomnia, restlessness, muscle weakness, and anxiety. So, again, incorporating magnesium into your diet may be a great way to address magnesium deficiency that may be contributing to your anxiety. Calcium is another big one. If you have a calcium deficiency, you can experience joint pains, nervousness, irritability, anxiety, sensitivity to noise, heart palpitations, insomnia, and muscle cramps. Now, the problem, you might be consuming a lot of foods high in calcium, magnesium, or you might be taking a supplement. But if you're consuming a diet high in sugar, refined carbs, coffee, and alcohol, which I know probably a lot of us are drinking more alcohol right now, salt and vinegar, these can all interfere with calcium absorption. So that can really impact your ability to break down, absorb, and assimilate those minerals into the body to help do that relaxation and calming the mind. So take a magnesium calcium supplement or incorporate more calcium and magnesium rich foods. So to give you an example of what those are, here is a list of calcium rich plant-based foods. So the reason why I put plant-based is because we want to be consuming more fruits and vegetables, because research shows that that helps to reduce anxiety because of the antioxidants in it, or those vitamins and minerals as well. So calcium rich foods are your cruciferous vegetables. So things like broccoli, asparagus, cabbage, all those great cruciferous vegetables. Dark leafy greens such as your collard greens, turnip greens, kale, spinach, and again, your walnuts and seeds. So switching out your chips for munching on pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, almonds, maybe making chia pudding as a way to get some good fats in, and some calcium as well. Now, magnesium rich foods, the great thing about Mother Nature is often they package nutrients together. So you can see here that some of the calcium rich foods are also magnesium rich too. Your pumpkin seeds, your almonds, your spinach, and your avocados. Bananas are great because They're high in calcium and magnesium, but they also have tryptophan and glucose. So glucose helps to transport tryptophan across the blood-brain barrier into the brain, and tryptophan helps to make serotonin and melatonin to help us sleep and to help us feel happy. So bananas are a great snack before bed if you're having trouble sleeping. Bananas are great, like, bedtime snack to sort of help you get to sleep and help you to feel relaxed and calm. So I feel like every time I do a presentation, I'm always talking about green tea. It always comes up. So, and with anxiety, it's it comes up again. So switching out coffee for herbal teas such as chamomile or green tea might really help to reduce anxiety-related symptoms. So yes, green tea does have caffeine in it, so it helps to give you a little bit of a kickstart in the morning, but not as much as coffee does. But the great thing about green tea is it has this calming amino acid in it called L-theanine. And L-theanine has been studied to help with brain health and reduce anxiety. So one study found those who drank a beverage that contained L-theanine, such as green tea, had decreased levels of cortisol. So that stress hormone that we were talking about, that's linked to anxiety and depression. The other thing about green tea, it's loaded with antioxidants that can help combat oxidative stress in the body and the brain, which can contribute to anxiety as well. And it contains fat burning properties too. So great if we're locked down, tend to be munching on more sugary foods. Again, great to help manage weight. So let's just put that all together because I've talked about a lot of things. We want to reduce anxiety. We want to implement the Mediterranean diet. So a lot of those fresh fruits and vegetables, those good oily fats, raw nuts and seeds, olives, olive oil, fish, lean meats, and minimize red meat, as well as getting rid of all those processed foods and refined grains. We want to balance blood sugars, so eat within 1 hour upon awakening, really trying to do plates that have a combination of complex carbs, which is your fruit and vegetables, your fats and your lean protein, and avoiding sugar, those refined grains, and your stimulants such as energy drinks and pop and coffee. You want to consume those rich foods in calcium and magnesium, so your nuts and seeds again, your dark leafy greens and your cruciferous vegetables. You want to be sipping on green tea. And the two things that I didn't mention, but I have to put in here because they're so important, is mindfulness and meditation. Meditation, mindfulness, yoga, they're all going to help reduce those cortisol levels in the body. And of course, exercise. Exercise is great. It releases endorphins to give us energy, to help us feel happy, to reduce those stress hormones as well. So I hope you found that helpful and some good takeaways to help implement for yourself or maybe a family member. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at Career Nutrition. We'd be more than happy to help. So thank you, everyone. Stay safe and we'll see you soon.